welcome to the new episode of Flick Fanatics. I'm the co-host Matt, and with me as always
is the other co-host Jackson. And today we have two very special guests and familiar faces. To my right is Doug, and to Matt's left is John.
It's your left too.
Yeah, I guess.
we saw Man of Steel, the brand new Superman flick reboot with a lot behind it.
Mm-hmm.
You guys want to give us a little talk about it or something?
Well, basically, Kryptonite's a dying planet to start off, and that's how Superman, aka Clark Kent, gets sent to Earth during all the chaos. And then, while he's on Earth, he struggles to find himself.
Yeah, it's like, it's an origin movie. But it's also not just the same old song and dance like the old Christopher Reeves one. They go into details about his childhood. They go into details about his young adulthood. They explain a lot more stuff that people, I think, want to be explained. But then, Zod's the villain. He's introduced right away. They have this cool origin with Krypton and like everything that's going on. It's very sci-fi. I mean, after all, he is an alien, so it is a sci-fi movie and a comic book movie. But Zod's the villain, and he has a plan. He has a scheme. We won't go into that, but it's great.
Yeah.
And it's a good origin story because it doesn't just, tell where he came from, but it also includes like definitive moments in his life that really builds him to be Superman.
Yeah, because what I was going to say was it opens very action-packed. The whole opening is there's a lot of action going on, and then you kind of like step away from that, and they really like develop the character for a while before you get back with the action. And then when it comes back, though, it's just so
It's full force.
Yeah, it's like...
I liked that a lot. I thought that was...
Yeah.
It's good balance.
Right.
Yeah, like it starts you off really, really strong. I mean, the action is ridiculous. Like, it's so intense.
It's
And
a
it
Zack
just-
Snyder
it's-
movie, so
Right,
it's a lot of
exactly,
visuals, a lot of
really
stuff
fast.
going on.
And
Fast
incredible
moving.
visual effects. I think some of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah,
like
same.
CGI-wise. That was the...
CGI just for the fight scenes, and oh man,
Oh my.
Even settings, Krypton looked real. Like,
Yeah.
it just looked real. Like, I
Yeah.
couldn't tell it was CG.
Yeah.
I mean, it was...
Metropolis. I won't go into huge details there, but
Oh my god.
you
That
guys
was
were pretty wild during that
I was
sequence.
jaw dropped. It was jaw dropping a couple times. So that was
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you got Snyder behind it. You got Goyer, writer of the Dark
Yeah.
Knight trilogy. Nolan, he's a producer on this, but director of Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah.
And Hans Zimmer's did the score. It's like
Yeah.
the dream team for comic book movie.
Hans Zimmer did it again.
Yeah,
If
it
you
was-
thought he did it for Dark Knight,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're in for a
the
real
score's
treat. It'll be
amazing.
stuck in your head for a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plus, it being a Snyder film, and in previous Snyder films too, there's a lot of like underlying themes.
Yeah.
like you're going to be the savior of the human race stuff, and you'll be the ideal they strive for. I thought they did that.
That's
perfect.
brought up from the beginning too.
Right,
Which
and
I
it's
love.
just played through really
Uh-huh.
well. Like, it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, I was gonna make the point. Kevin Costner is awesome in this movie.
You made me
He's-
tear up a couple times.
Papa
Yeah,
Kent.
dude, he was just, he's a great actor. And,
Yeah.
Yeah,
The mom was good too. Diane,
Yeah,
Diane
definitely.
Different.
Yeah, she was awesome.
I mean, the whole
Fantastic.
cast. Was,
I mean, throughout, Michael Shannon's an amazing villain.
He's always a good villain, though.
He's a good bad
He's
guy.
always a good bad guy.
He nailed this one. He really did.
Yeah.
He just has that face of a villain, and he can portray, like, anger and terror
Right, yeah.
in his face.
I mean,
which is-
I mean, personally, I really don't have any complaints about this movie because I went in just like, okay, Superman origin movie. The last one wasn't very good, and it's fresh start,
Yeah.
and I was not disappointed at all. I just had a fun time. It was, even some emotional roller coasters along the way. It was just, it was a cool movie.
Yeah.
It was
like
exactly what
I honestly can't think of like bad stuff. I think it's I think, like I said to you guys, I think it's like one of the best, if not the best, superhero movies
Yeah.
I've ever seen.
Top 3.
Yeah, like
Top 2 for me.
yeah.
What's your number one?
The whole Dark Knight trilogy.
Which is from the same people.
Yeah, it's the
so
same
it's,
people
It's
working
cool.
on
I mean,
it, so.
right? Yeah, I mean it's.
DC is definitely heading in the right direction, I think, now.
I think they have
Oh,
the
yeah.
best movies of
Right.
any superhero movies.
I think Marvel's a little.
Even though they don't
stumbling.
have like tons, they just the ones they do have.
And they take a gamble on it, which is something I
Yeah.
don't think Marvel does.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Marvel is pretty predictable.
Lately,
Well,
at least.
Yeah, it's lately.
Phase 2.
I know you were also disappointed with Iron Man 3, as I was, and I think you were too.
Me too.
And I think
Yeah.
you were
Yeah.
too.
We all were.
I think we
Which
gave it
was
0
funny
or
because
1.
this Man of Steel is getting mixed reviews. Iron Man 3 was getting a lot of praise,
Yeah, more
and I'm wondering
I-
when
Who's
everyone
paying
went crazy.
these?
you know?
Disney's,
Who's paying all these
Exactly.
critics? You know?
I-
Marvel.
Here,
paying-
no,
oh,
you
yeah.
know what? Here's the thing.
Bad
It might
mouths.
not even be that. People might just come to assume it's Iron Man and it's humor. And they went into Man of Steel. They got, like I talked about this before, they're very nostalgic over Christopher Reeve's
Mhm.
trilogy plus
Yeah.
number 4, which is terrible.
Yeah.
But they love that. You know, they love the Superman that saves the cat out of the tree, the happy-go-lucky guy.
Uh-huh.
And there's humor in it in this new one. There
Yeah.
is. There's parts, but
it's not that
But
overdone.
Superman, yeah, but Superman isn't Superman yet. Really, like this is his
Mhm.
becoming Superman.
Yeah.
Especially that last scene. You know, you're like, and they're pacing themselves, just like
Exactly.
Amazing Spider-Man did, just like Batman did. So maybe next movie we'll get a little bit more of a bright Superman because he's coming to the role.
Yeah.
But I'm not expecting it to go full blown, camp or cheese.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they
That's-
wanted, and
I
they
mean,
were just mad.
If Snyder's going to direct the next one,
He already is.
oh, he already is.
Mhm. And Goyer's writing it, so
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will not be, campy at
Right,
all.
I mean-
like it'll just be, not necessarily like true to all the fans' like thoughts on it, but it'll just be like a fresh new take
Mhm.
on the whole Superman idea.
and like I think people should embrace that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, why want more of the same? We
Yeah,
already had 4 of those
exactly.
movies.
I
And
feel
a
like it's
fifth.
paving the way to a good Justice League movie because David Goyer also said, we were talking about this, that the Dark Knight films is a different universe.
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
Justice League movie's opened a
Right.
whole new stuff.
Like Batman
Oh.
stands on its own.
And I really think that, they want Zack Snyder to probably direct the Justice League film.
yeah.
You got this good Superman movie.
they did
now,
Watchmen,
it's-
he did
Yeah.
Watchmen, so hey,
Yeah.
I'm not,
And hey,
complaining.
Man of Steel was great.
Yeah.
Like if this is amazing, the next one is probably going to be pretty good.
And it's
And
making
then Justice
money.
League.
He made his
Gonna
budget
be
back
real
just
good.
from pre-sales.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely...
It's definitely a must see.
Yeah.
Yep.
I totally agree.
Go to the theater, see it in IMAX 3D if you can.
Yeah, or just
Spend
IMAX.
the
Just get it on.
$13.50 or whatever.
I felt those punches. Like I felt
Yeah.
those punches.
Oh.
Those were.
The fight scenes in the
Yeah.
town.
I just thought they captured
Smallville, yeah.
flight, the
Smallville,
idea of
oh my.
flight so well.
Yeah, the
Uh-huh.
idea of
Just-
flight. Like it's honestly what they could not have done in past Superman movies.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
don't get why people are so stingy about it.
Yeah. I
You know,
mean,
and I don't know what people want to see. Like, what do you?
Like he's a god. I mean, come on, like
Yeah.
we couldn't
And they
have-
kind of address that.
And, you
They
know,
really
there's no kryptonite in this movie too, so it's taking a step away from that. It's trying something different, and
Right.
Which I think makes it strong. Makes it
yeah,
a
Mhm.
strong film.
Yeah.
Because there's not that weakness. I mean, there's a little bit.
Yeah, they have cool plot points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that explain like
Not
that.
giving too much away.
Right. Yeah. You know, there's cool Easter eggs in it.
Yeah.
We're not gonna name them. We'll go see it. Very cool Easter eggs that hint to other stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
that was quite the experience for a
Yeah.
summer movie. After seeing Iron Man 3, I kind of had my head hung,
Yeah, me too.
and I thought,
After that
well,
hype
I
train.
still have to look forward to Man of Steel.
Oh,
I
yes.
was not disappointed, so
Like
At
yeah,
all.
like I think it's like that we hit the top. Like
Mhm.
I mean, every other movie is probably gonna be good. We got good movies coming up.
Yeah.
But this was that's hard to.
Something special. It's not like the
Completely.
typical movie, you know? It's
Mhm.
something
Yeah.
just
Hmm.
in its own class.
Yeah.
ratings. What are we
Oh,
giving
yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, I'll start off. I'm giving it a 93 kryptonites out of 100. Just because, I mean, the first time I saw it, I thought the story structure was a little bit off. But after seeing it again, it just totally, my mind just totally ignored it, and then it just went on to all the action and all the awesome dialogue, and I was just like, yeah. It's not quite up there for the Dark Knight for me, though. But it's a step up from the Batman Begins and the Dark Knight Rises. That's how I feel about it.
I'm going to go 94 out of 100. Like I see where you're coming from, and that's why it's not the perfect movie. There are a few little things that I didn't quite, maybe not necessarily agree with, but I just thought could have been different. But everything else was perfect. Like it was one of the best movies I've ever seen.
What about you? Master shaking his head.
I would. What did you get? You gave 93, 94,
Yeah.
97. 97 Kryptonites. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a flaw in any movie you see. Almost any movie, probably. Not Place Beyond the Pines.
No flaws in that.
But this movie, I thought, I liked the jumping of the storyline. I thought that was cool with he's younger in one scene, and then they have this connection to show when he's older, back and forth. But yeah, the story, it can be a little messy. I can see that definitely, but overall, it's an A. Like, it's a great movie.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna give it 100 out of 100, and I'll tell you why.
Ooh.
Like you said, no movie is perfect. So when people give movies perfect scores, obviously there's gonna be like small quibbles here and there, and I have some. But honestly, like I don't know. To me that was perfect, despite like the one or two, like you said, complicated story. But they do explain it after seeing it again.
Yeah, you do.
It
Definitely
clicks.
by the end of it.
Yeah, if you see it a second time, you're like, oh, okay. Because stuff in the beginning talks about Superman's cells being supercharged from the sun radiation, and people kind of forget about that, along with like the Kryptonians, armor, like honing their senses, that stuff. So once you see it again, it was, to me, 100 out of 100. I love that movie, like across all things.
Yeah.
Snyder has outdone himself.
Snyder is
Another
awesome.
thing, like no slow-mo. Snyder was notorious for slow-mo, so he's kind of stepping back from that.
And I like that.
It was
because
fine,
I
it
thought
was
fast.
I might have liked like one or two punches in slow-mo, but yeah, he didn't. It was. I think he's found his peak for directing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was really good.
Can't wait to
Just
see
good
what he does
shots,
next.
good aesthetics.
He proved he can change it up.
Yeah.
But I thought with the slow mo, Zack Snyder, I thought if they used any slow mo, it would have played on some of the cheesiness.
You think so?
I thought the face,
Oh yeah, like the
hand-to-hand combat between Superman and the Kryptonians was just ridiculous. It was
They were,
like the best fight scene in like any movie I've seen.
Yeah,
Because
it
it's
really
so
was.
fast.
It's so
people were
exhilarating.
saying too on the internet. There's like
No phones allowed.
My bad, guys.
Answer it.
people were saying online.
She just picked it up.
Shoot the thrill. Yeah, but no, I mean, people were saying online too, like that was like DBZ action. Like why Dragon Ball Z? Like, that was just like cool, like fast
It's
paced.
pretty true. I can
And
totally
they
see
made
it.
a Dragon Ball movie and that tanked.
Yeah.
And Snyder just done himself with action.
Yeah.
Yeah, so see it.
See
Yeah,
it.
go.
That's what we all
Yeah,
say.
you're
IMAX
gonna
3D especially.
Give it a chance.
If you
you'll
can, if your
probably
theater
like
offers it,
yeah.
do it.
See it on the big screen, and if you're seeing all these mixed reviews, make your own opinion. Who cares what we think? Just go see it. It's reviews are all opinions. They're like assholes. Everyone's got one. So I mean, make your own opinion. Go
Also,
see it.
Henry Cavill, I think is how they pronounce it now.
Yep.
He's really good as Superman. So
Superb.
we didn't say that yet. So
Best Superman by far.
Yeah, we said
Oh,
it.
he looks like him.
Actor-wise.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks for checking us out. We're skipping The Purge. We're gonna review that when it's on DVD or Blu-ray.
Might just be an audio.
And we'll review This Is the End next with Seth Rogen, all his pals.
That'll probably be in a week or two. Stay tuned.
Thank you.
Sorry for the phone.